Yo, what's happening? It's your boy JAYWHITT. You're now watching Olazine TV.
Right. I was gonna tell everybody where you from.
I'm from deep.
Running, man.
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
I was like, what part?
North Dallas.
Okay. So tell us how long you have been one music producer.
I've been doing beats for like this like year 8.
So are you one on producer or are you just like a beat maker? Are you
producing.
Both? Okay.
Producing.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I didn't want to interview you wrong.
Yeah. No, I started making beats and then I became a producer after that.
If that usually happens like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know it was a difference at first, but then it became knowledgeable to me. Yeah.
But you learn like on the terminology of it.
Yeah.
Because I just realized that I'm a journalist.
Right.
I thought I was just creating a media platform.
Right.
Okay. So tell us, let's bring it back. Like, tell us, when did you first get your, first big break?
My first big break, I would say, it was from OG. It was like 2014, 2015, like that.
Oh, you talking about way back?
Yeah.
It's like 7 years ago.
Yeah. It was on a tour, and I had gotten to the room where they was at. I met OG. I had my computer with me because I always bring it with me. You never know what the opportunity could present itself. So
right.
I played beats. He liked them. Next thing you know, he got to working, and then him and Gates did a song. They dropped the song a week later.
What the song name was?
It was called "Be Quiet." It's on the Boobie Trap, y'all.
Okay.
And then they flew me up to Texas, and then ever since then it's been crazy.
You've been flying ever since, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as after your big break, but I want you to name some artists and and just how did y'all actually connect that you have worked with?
Some of them in the beginning it was through the internet, and then others was working with other people collabing, which led to a placement, and then others has been in the studio. So like Kevin Boobie, that's been in the studio, that's everywhere. Who else? OJ, OJ the Juice Man, has been in the studio.
Shout out to OJ Juice Man, I ain't seen him in a while.
Yeah, that's a big homie right there. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of them they've been in the studio, and then it's been some with through an email. If I get the call, a lot of them like that.
All right. So tell us, how did you actually come up with your name?
Well, it's from my first and my last name.
So okay, so you put it together.
I took part of my first name and part of my last name, and then I added a letter, and then it became JAYWHITT.
Okay. So, being a music producer in the industry, do you often feel well, I'm not gonna say it like that. I'm gonna ask you this: being being one music producer, in the music industry now, but you see music producers starting their own, starting their own record label, signing artists and everything like that. So tell us what's going on with you.
Oh yeah, I'm in the works of that. I'm getting myself strong right now, and I got a few producers that I've been working with closely that I'm gonna put on my team, and I got a few artists.
So you're building a team right now.
Yeah, and then when the time is right, it's gonna all present.
But you don't want to name the artists that you're working with so far?
One of them is BSG Vaughn.
Okay.
Another one, I'm gonna just leave it at that. BSG Vaughn. That's my artist right now. Putting together, building them strong. And then a few producers, I'll name them later. But the team is Get With It.
Okay. So, tell us what separates you. Tell us what separates you. From other music producers.
What separates me is everybody work, and everybody got a lot of beats, but it's how you work. Okay. I paint pictures with sounds.
That's it. That's cool. That's unique.
Yeah, that's how I label my work. Painting pictures with sounds. So when you hear my work, you can visualize my work.
Okay. So being like in the music industry for like 7 years or more. Tell us, what do you enjoy most about being a music producer, and tell us what do you actually hate about being one music producer.
What I enjoy the most is hearing something that I create become a record, because without them, it's just a beat, and just like them, it's just lyrics. So when it come together, it creates something beautiful. So it's like, in the beginning, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted people to hear my beats, and then for me to take that to later on start creating records that people hear. Like, it's been a few times where I done rolled past people in different states and then heard them listen to a song that I produced. So it's like, that's definitely
that's dope, huh?
Yeah, that's one of the fruits of it. One of the things that I hate the least is like, let me see, it's just,
I'm pretty sure it's something you hate about.
No, yeah, it's just a few things. It's just what I want to name. It's more of just how certain companies that you work with, they drag their feet when it comes to handling the business with a producer that I've noticed.
Paying and everything, huh?
Yeah, that I've experienced. Like certain companies that I did business with, it took longer than others.
But longer than expected.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's the music industry, I saw someone in an interview said, man, the music industry is the only place where somebody could be in the same room as you and probably owe you $1 million, and you don't want to do them because you're going to get sued.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of that too.
So
that's
like,
a lot of that.
That's
a lot of politics.
That's a lot of politics?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So like, what's your advice to one younger producer that's trying to follow in your footsteps?
My best advice is to work hard, but it's not just about having beats. You can have the best beats in the world, but if don't nobody know you, then it don't mean nothing. So you gotta network, you gotta get in the field, you gotta go to them concerts, not go for the show, but you gotta somehow make connections to where you in the back rooms and you get your seconds in, however you gotta get it. You gotta get active. That's my best advice.
Yeah, you gotta make it make sense for you.
Yeah, because you making beats in the closet or your room, that's cool, but it's 1 million people out here doing that, just like it's 1 million people out here doing other things. So you gotta your face card gotta hold some value, so you gotta build that.
Right, facts.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us, what's next for you? Like, are you planning on dropping merch, clothing line, label name, if you have it already?
Yeah. I got merch coming out. I started a project on that. I got a few designers that I'm in the talks with. Got merch. Got some albums dropping.
Okay. That's
all I can say on that. But got a lot of records coming though. Some heavy hitters. So I'm excited about that.
All right. And also, but last but not least, tell everybody, where can they find it on social media and just everywhere else?
You can find me on Instagram at JAYWHITT. You can find me on Twitter at JAYWHITT_PROD. YouTube JAYWHITT TV. Everywhere JAYWHITT.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, and we done.
Nolazine, make them scream. NOLAZINE. Make them SCREAM. Scream. Nolazine, make them scream. You heard me.